Ramaphosa versus Trump, the G20 boycott, and the battle for Africa's dignity. As the world prepares for the G20 Summit in Johannesburg, a diplomatic storm is brewing. What should have been a moment of pride for Africa's most industrialized nation has become the latest flashpoint between U.S. President Donald Trump and South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. Trump has announced that the United States will boycott the summit entirely, claiming that white South Africans are being persecuted and that the country no longer deserves its seat among the world's top economies. Calling it a total disgrace, he accused the South African government of killing and seizing land from Afrikaners, descendants of Dutch, French, and German settlers. He posted on his Truth Social platform, "No U.S. government official will attend as long as these human rights abuses continue." South Africa's government has sharply rejected these claims, calling them imagined, baseless, and politically motivated. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Crispin Fury said the boycott is regrettable, but the success of the summit will not rest on one member state. A massive shout-out to our subscribers for being the backbone of this channel. For anyone new here watching, your support means the world too. If you like what we're about, subscribing is the best way to stay connected and help us keep creating contents you love. Speaking to the BBC, Fury accused Trump of orchestrating an imagined crisis using the painful history of South Africa's colonial past. He added, "There is absolutely no evidence of white persecution in South Africa. Crime affects everyone, regardless of race. None of South Africa's political parties, including those representing the white community, claim there is any genocide taking place." Earlier this year, a South African court dismissed similar allegations as clearly imagined. Government data also shows no racial groups are being disproportionately targeted by violent crime. This confrontation has been building for months. Back in May, Ramaphosa flew to Washington hoping to ease tensions. But in the Oval Office, Trump blindsided him, accusing his government of persecuting white farmers, presenting unverified evidence that has been widely discredited. Despite Ramaphosa's diplomatic outreach, relations have since deteriorated. In August, the U.S. slapped 30% tariffs on South African exports, one of the steepest in sub-Saharan Africa. And now, with Trump's boycott, the diplomatic rift has turned into a full-blown standoff. The G20, founded in 1999 after the Asian financial crisis, represents more than 85% of the world's wealth. It's not a treaty-based organization. There's no legal mechanism for kicking a member out. As experts note, Trump's demand to remove South Africa is largely symbolic. Dr. Andrew Gawthorpe of the Foreign Policy Center explains, "The host country decides whom to invite. Excluding a member would require broad consensus, which is highly unlikely." Chatham House fellow Chris Van Dome says it's ironic that the U.S., often accused of disrupting past G20 talks, is now framing itself as a moral referee. He adds, "The EU and China are unlikely to support any rejection of South Africa. If anything, they may rally around it." The only historical precedent for removal came in 2014, when Russia was expelled from the G8 over its annexation of Crimea. But even after its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, Russia remained in the G20, proving how difficult consensus-based exclusion really is. For this year's G20, South Africa has chosen the theme Solidarity, Equality, and Sustainability. Fury says the country's journey from racial division to democracy gives it a unique voice within global forums. He told reporters, "We are championing a future of shared prosperity, where the scars of colonialism and inequality are healed through cooperation, not division." Much of the controversy traces back to South Africa's land reform policy, allowing land seizures without compensation in limited cases. While the goal is to correct historical injustice, it has drawn fierce criticism abroad, especially from Trump, who used it to justify refugee status for white South Africans. Yet Pretoria points out that few have taken up the offer, undermining the claim of widespread persecution. Despite Washington's absence, Leaders from across the globe are arriving in Johannesburg. The summit is expected to focus on sustainable development, energy transitions, and the reform of global financial institutions, issues critical to Africa's economic future. For Cyril Ramaphosa, this G20 is more than a diplomatic gathering. It's a statement of sovereignty. Defiant but measured, he insists South Africa will not bow to political threats. And as the United States stays home, the rest of the world will be watching Johannesburg, where Africa is not just hosting the conversation, it's leading it. This is Sal Pier on VlogND. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share our videos. We appreciate your support.